Right then, guys and gals, it's time for another game sesh, and we'll be laughing at something Bethesda has done in just a moment. Before we get into all of that, I just want to explain that I've been having a jolly good think about my approach to YouTube and what I'm going to do with my future videos. I'm not going to bore you and verbally represent a big old spider diagram the size of your bedroom wall. I will just say, however, for this video, I'm going to try and freestyle it because I think I sound a bit more natural, might be a bit easier to listen to. The other videos so far have been opinion pieces where I've written down quite a lot and spoken them out and delivered the narration like a script, and it takes a lot of time to stick all of that together, edit the video together, and I need to figure out, in order for YouTube to notice me and to see me and to get my content in front of more people, I gotta bust stuff out more regularly, I gotta be more consistent, I gotta release more often, not only to get new people in but also to retain the ones that I've already got. So this is my new format, just one quick and easy, unedited piece of footage from a game that I've been playing lately. Lots of other YouTubers do it, and I've thought to myself, why am I making more work for myself? I'll just do this. Right, with that little disclaimer out the way, let's laugh at Bethesda. And why are we laughing at Bethesda? Well, I'm just going to paint a picture for you, give you a bit of a frame to the story here. So, Bethesda has always been that company that makes super buggy games. Yes, we all agree on this, especially when it comes to their open world titles. And in the past, and maybe even up till now, there's still a couple of crazy people out there that see all these glitches and all these bugs and continue playing a broken product, and they just go, oh, Bethesda, and they're happy to spend $60 odd on their games. And I'll admit, I'm sounding a little bit like a hypocrite here. I love their games, I buy them as well. But after Fallout 4, I started to think enough was enough. After playing The Witcher 3 and realising technologically what can be done with open worlds in this generation, going back to Fallout 4, Fallout 4 was just a bunch of Play-Doh slapped together, really, wasn't it? Anyway, the point here is, we all know that Bethesda release super buggy games, and we all pretend like it's okay, but it's getting to the point now where it really isn't, and it would seem that Bethesda are starting to cotton on to that people are no longer just jovially dismissing their glitches because an open world and getting lost in an open world is no longer enough. That open world has to be absolute quality, and this will be proven again when Red Dead 2 comes out. So now, Bethesda have said, when Fallout 76 comes out, be prepared for a stupendous amount of bugs. I mean, what company says that before they release a product? You're about to release a top-of-the-line car, and you tell potential customers, might explode on the way to work, but $200,000 please? Where's all this impassioned jibber-jabber coming from, I hear you ask? Well, I came across an article on Eurogamer earlier this morning, and it was all about Fallout 76. Surprise, surprise. Now, the people who played the Early Access program started jokingly call it the Break It Early Test Application. See where they're going there? BETA, beta. Bethesda then went on to say that it was complete with a glorious array of issues, but apparently it wasn't enough for people to really understand just how glorious the array of issues would be. In a new statement, Bethesda have come forward now and talked about unforeseen bugs which may occur in the early stages of the beta. We need your help finding them and advice on what's important to fix. Now, what's particularly hilarious about this situation is hindsight. The very same company that released Skyrim on every goddamn platform imaginable over the last, I think it's about 10 years now, and it still retains a lot of the bugs that it had on release day. They've had a decade to iron them out, and they haven't even bothered because they're just riding on the success of those people that I mentioned earlier on going, oh, Bethesda, and it's worked for them so far. So I dare say there's going to be a lot of people out there who pre-ordered 76 who are now reading this article about Fallout 76 and are thinking, wow, this is going to be really bad, because if all of their past games were already bugged and we didn't hear a peep about it before release, and we're hearing them basically shitting themselves about it, giving you a heads up now, then I'm really concerned for Fallout 76. I think it's going to be a broken mess. The article goes on to explain how a lot of Bethesda's staff are actually terrified of having developed this game and terrified of having to release it because they've never worked on an MMO before. They've never worked on a massive online environment with which to host many players. And I'll be honest, as soon as I saw the Fallout 76 reveal, didn't get a good feeling. I just knew from the get-go that everything is just going to be one epic shit show, and I hope after release day that I am proved grievously wrong. But Bethesda, it seems, has already said that it is going to be that bad. So are you enough of a fan to just put your money down anyway and ride out all the bugs and issues over the course of a year or two, if you're lucky, to get a really functioning product that you paid $60 for? Are you going to do that? Well, I suppose that's entirely up to you. It makes no difference to me what you spend your money on. If you have fun with it, then happy days, good for you, chums. Microtransactions are another cause for concern, and there's a lot of people out there who are going to tell me, well, Nick, they're just for cosmetics, they're going to do it right, there's no pay to win in this game. And that's great, that's fine. But what concerns me is microtransactions sucking out the Fallout feel. A lot of us are familiar with Fallout and how it is supposed to feel. Now, from Bethesda's perspective, would it be easier to create hundreds and hundreds of lore-friendly cosmetic items, as we've seen in other titles like Warframe that's taken years and years to get off the ground? Or are they going to make a bunch of silly, namby-pamby, Fortnite-esque items under every colour in the spectrum? The second one's going to be a lot easier, it's going to be a lot quicker, and unfortunately it's probably going to be a lot more profitable as a result. So what you're going to get is all of these people. There's no NPCs in Fallout 76 as we know, so lots of human players running about the wasteland in crazy pink hats and green glowing chest armour. And I'm sorry, that's not Fallout. That is not Fallout, it's not the Fallout feel. But hey, we'll just have to wait and see what they do with the system and see how dedicated they are to Fallout lore. Of course, if we're talking about Fallout lore, then, well, I mean, that's almost worth another video altogether, isn't it? Because they've already retconned the lore from the original Fallout and just whammed the Brotherhood of Steel in there, just like that. Like, yeah, they're there now. Yeah, forget you played those other games. They're in there. Shut up and give us your money. Now, after I've said all this, if you're one of those people out there, of which there are many, I know, who are sat there now like, oh, Nick, Bethesda are great, how can you say such things, they've made great games for years, and so on and so forth. Well, to put things in perspective a little bit, they won't be releasing Fallout 76 on Steam, because Steam takes a percentage of the payment. I think it's between 20 and 30% is quite a lot. So if Bethesda are able to say, oh, you have to go to Bethesda.net or Bethesda.net, it's one or the other, to buy our game, and they get to take all of that juicy extra money. I have no bones about this. Bethesda are just the same as Ubisoft or EA. They're all about the money, and they're forgetting more and more year on year as these companies become greedier and greedier about the customer, and they're forgetting about customer satisfaction until eventually the customer just becomes this bottom feeding entity on the ground that they never catch a sight of. And that's rant of the day out the way. I feel a lot better for it, getting all that off my chest. If you enjoyed the content, then go right ahead and click subscribe. Every single one of you means a lot to me right now. Let's expand this channel. Like, rate, comment, subscribe, all those other buzzwords that those other YouTube channels say. I feel awfully hammy and cheesy saying it, but yeah, go ahead and do those things, and I'll see you guys on the next game sesh. Peace.
Here, I'm going to show it to you in action. It works. It actually works perfectly. And one of the great things about having a fully dynamic game engine is all of this just works.